Zois chukas ha-Torah. This is the Torah. And then the Torah goes on to explain the mitzvah of the Parah Aduma, the most fascinating mitzvah. Let me explain. We have a situation where someone became Tomei. So we have the ashes of the Parah Aduma, and we take the ashes and sprinkle it on the one that became Tomei. And lo and behold, the one that became Tomei now is Tahor. However, the one that actually sprinkled the ashes on the one that was Tomei, he himself has now become Tomei. His very sprinkling the ashes onto a Tomei person to make him Tahor makes him himself Tomei. Why? And why is this considered to be what the Torah says? Zois chukas ha-Torah. This is the Torah. Listen to this amazing explanation by the Lubavitcher Rebbe. The Rebbe explained, you want to know why the Torah says Zois chukas ha-Torah? Because essentially what's going on is someone is being moise nefesh for somebody else. Someone is giving up from himself for the sake of another yid. That is the Torah. Zois chukas ha-Torah means that the greatest gift that you can give to anybody else is giving up of yourself for somebody else. There was a boy here in Israel that was having a really hard time with shidduchim. Year after year passed and he simply couldn't get married. You see, when he was younger, he was in a restaurant in Israel and a terrorist walked into the restaurant and randomly started to stab a young girl. Now, he was a young boy at the time, but he leaped to action and he stood in front of this girl, saving the girl's life. But in the meantime, the terrorist had also slashed his cheek. He went to hospital, but it left a huge scar on his cheek. Every single time he had a date with a girl, the girl took one look at him and said, "Not for me." He was broken. He went to Reb Chaim Kanievsky Zatzal and he said, "Rebbe, what do I do?" Reb Chaim told him the following: the next girl you go out with, the first thing you tell her is what happened and how. So he says, sure. He has the next date the week later. He sits down with the girl and he says to the girl the following: I want to tell you how I got this scar on my cheek. And he goes on to tell her all of the details. She's in shock. She asked him which restaurant. When approximately was this? She was the girl that he saved. Here they were years later, meeting again. They continued to go out, and eventually they got married. That's what the Torah is telling us in this week's parasha. You want to do something that's the greatest thing in the Torah? You know what it is? Said the Lubavitcher Rebbe, something for somebody else. Even if it means giving up of yourself to help another yid, to be there for another yid, to sacrifice yourself for somebody else. Zois chukas ha-Torah. Have an amazing Shabbos.
Remember getting back and having that phone call with my wife.
Silver and gold lying around. They can't get it anymore.
Yeah, but is it like immediate or can it wait until the Shiva?
My tank got stuck. Just wouldn't move.